quite dead yet. And it looks like, have they been giving the farm to Obsidian Destroyer completely? Yes, he's 40-0. I don't think either of these have any last hits. Actually, they've got 6-2, but no, not really worth mentioning. And actually, this push strat in the bottom lane has failed for the Sentinel, and their tower's going to get denied, which is a little unfortunate. They would have really liked to have had that 500 extra team gold, but they'll probably take the gold they can get in this early game. Now, the question is what they're going to do now. They've gotten rid of the bottom lane towers. It's really about where they're going to go next. Looks like they're going to go for the Syllabear Battlers, Firefly, and Haste. He's dragging him back. He's going to be able to take him all the way back here. And there's the Undying Tombstone. He's not going to be... Why was he trying to transform? He should have just been running. I don't know if you noticed that little thing there, that he wasn't stunned. He actually managed to stun himself by trying to transform in his ultimate form, which would have given him more HP, but it was not enough really to mitigate the amount of damage that he was taking from 3 separate heroes. So bad decision in my opinion. And look at this aggressive ward by OSI. I really like this. This gives them all the advantage for pushing down the next couple of towers in middle. And it looks like I'm missing some action bottom. I'm trying to go for the winner. That's a black hole just for winner. I don't know if she's going to die or not. Yes, she does indeed go down between Malefice and the black hole and all of the AoE damage from Bristleback. And I think that Enigma should be backing out right about now. He's low on HP, has no mana, not really going to be able to do a whole lot more. Bristleback, however, has a lot more HP and doesn't really need a whole lot of mana. It looks like we're going to get some pure damage. We might be able to see him... Sentinel might be able to take him down if Witch Doctor can just get a Malefice off. Oh, it looks like he had a misclick there. There's the Malefice. And there's the ult. Actually only does 88 damage. Wow, I tend to forget how high Bristleback's intelligence is, especially compared to somebody like Obsidian Destroyers, who's supposed to have a lot of intelligence. That really just was not a whole lot of damage. Wow. That sucks. I don't know how many Obsidian Destroyer players are watching, but if you just ult somebody that's a strength hero and you only do 88 damage, you're just kind of like, well, damn it. That just sucks. Anyway, looks like Clockwork was able to take out Teal, which is Witch Doctor probably just got picked off hanging around a little bit too long in the wrong spot. And Silver's probably hoarding gold for his bear to get a Radiance at some point soon. And yes, he is up to 1,700 gold, so good job so far. Not going to be the fastest relic in the world, but he's going to have it in a reasonable amount of time. Probably around the next 5 minutes is when he'll get it. And Bat does not have his Blink Dagger yet, so he's not able to quite initiate the way that Sentinel would like him to be able to. But he's on his way there. I think he's up to about... No, he's only at 500 gold. Never mind. No, wait, that's blue. Bat is up to 1,600. So he'll be there in another 500 gold. He might be able to get it here in the next 2 minutes, maybe. And Witch Doctor doing a very good job. He's got wards in all the right spots so far. I'm really, really impressed with his ward knowledge so far and his timing on the wards that he's getting. And Bristleback just trying to stay up in the farm game. He's up to 44, so he's up a little bit less than 4 CS a minute. He's keeping up mostly, but he's not really doing amazingly. He really would like to be farming a lot harder than he is in order to get the big items, the big tank, the big DPS, so that he's a threat and they have a reason to target him. Actually, I just realized something. Bristleback and Syllabear are both on the Scourge team, so I'm not sure why they picked a Bristleback. They already have a Radiance carrier, which is usually what Bristleback likes to make, is a Radiance as soon as he can. Because otherwise there's not really a reason to target him, because he does a fair amount of damage in the early game, but past that, you can almost just ignore him. I'm really confused by this Bristleback pick, actually. Huh. Well, we'll see how this evolves for the Scourge team. I really dislike it right now. Now that I've stopped to think about it a little bit, I really dislike it. And Undying's going to drop his Tombstone, drop his ult. They're going to try to go for a kill here, but unfortunately, they're not picking who they're focusing very well. One's going for Enigma, the others are going for Bristleback, and it looks like they have finally decided that they're going to go for the Earthshaker, who is maybe going to be able to drop a Fisher. Nope, not quite. And he goes down. It looks like the Scourge is running scared a little bit, but they've got support coming. And Clock is here. He's got a haste rune, and Sentinel is really low HP, actually. There goes the Undying. And I think this Witch Doctor is not long for life, and neither is this Obsidian Destroyer. And Scourge manages to turn around what could have been really bad for 3 kills. So, well done. Good timing on Clockwork's part. Syllabear didn't really do a whole lot, to be perfectly honest, but good awareness by Clockwork, managing to get there in time with his haste rune. Syllabary made it to his relic yet. This is a thing to keep an eye on. He's up to 2,700. Needs another 1,000 for the relic. And let's see, we've got to go on the wind runner. Ooh, almost missed the cog. And she just wasted her wind run at this point, and she's going to go down for sure. And they give the kill to Syllabary, so he's well on his way to his relic now. Now, I'm wondering what Undying's going to be doing. Usually, Undying is one of those heroes that really can use a lot of farm. He can do effective things when you give him a lot of items, so I'm not sure how he's going to work out as a pure support hero like he appears to be doing. I'm actually not sure what he's going to get. Maybe he'll get a Django, or I think he'll probably go for Arcane Boot so he can spam his spells a little bit more effective. Looks like we're going to be going for the Syllabary. We're going to drop the Tombstone, we're going to drop a Cast, we're going to drop a Malefice, we're going to drop Firefly, and no ult's really used yet, but may not need it because that Malefice is doing a lot. Excuse me, that Maledict is doing a lot of damage, and Bat is actually going to turn around and try to go for this Earthshaker, and he does have his blink dagger, but he blinks for an escape. He doesn't try to go for the kill, and actually may be dying to this Earthshaker and this Enigma and the Clock Rocket. Yeah, this Bat Rider is going to go down, and actually Enigma manages to get the kill. Ooh, Witch Doctor almost took that one to the face a little too hard, and Enigma doesn't have his Blink Dagger yet, so he doesn't have the positioning ability that he wants, but he did go for a Vitality Booster first, recognizing that there's a little bit too much AoE nuke power on the other team, and he needs to stay alive for his ult to be effective, so I think that's probably a good buy. Let's see what Winter's going to make. Looks like Winter's going to opt to go for Planeswalker's Cloak, so she's probably going to make a hood. I would not be surprised to see her make a pipe. And after that, since Obsidian Destroyer's made the mechanism, or is making it, actually, did he finish it yet? Yes, he has finished it. Her item build is left really open, and unusually so for Winter. Usually you go for a Mechanism of Basilius and then go for something like a Gunsu. So her item build is wide open for what she's going to do. I would not be surprised to see her do something unusual. I don't know what that'll be after the pipe, but I'm all ears for ideas. And let's see, Witch Doctor's still doing a very good job on the warding. I've been really impressed with him so far. Let's see, Batrider is probably at the point where he needs to start tanking up a little bit if he wants to continue to be effective. And he manages to grab Earthshaker and drag him back, but his team is a little bit slow to respond, and Earthshaker's probably going to get away scot-free. Yep, and I do believe that they are going to be able to get this tower no problem, though. And it's just a bristleback here. The rest of the Scourge team is being a little bit slow. They're going to go for the Undying, who's just going to ult up, decay. And I don't know why they're going on the Undying. Maybe it's just because he's the biggest thing on the screen. But Clock has managed to lose all of his mana and his HP. And I don't think anybody's going to be dying here. This is actually This game seems to consist of a lot of heroes that do a lot of damage very slowly. It's very, excuse me, an interesting game in that respect, and it looks like Earthshaker might be poking his head out a little bit too far. He's got really low HP. There's a cask, there's 1, 2, and decay, and one last cask bounce for the kill. So, yeah, Earthshaker being a little too aggressive there, and it looks like his teammates might pay for his mistake too, because Bristleback and Enigma are no longer have their Earthshaker support. He's going to drop Black Hole for the Bat. I think Bat's going to die. No, he's going to make it out. No, he is going to die. But I think they might be able to turn around and get this Enigma or this Bristleback. Actually, maybe able to get both. Bristleback is down to half HP, most of his mana, and Enigma is maybe going to make it out. And everybody's just everywhere. Nobody's got really any set formation that they're trying to conform to. It looks like we're going to get a kill on this Bristleback, who's got Maledicted and a lot of pure damage going on, and Witch Doctor ult, so yeah, he's going to go down for sure. Now, almost dead. Undying and Witch Doctor. Man, these guys just fight with low HP the entire time. Looks like we're going for this Clockwork and this Earthshaker if we can. But no, they decide that it's not going to be worth it and decide to back out. And nope, no Radiance yet for him. Actually, he does have the Relic on himself, so he should have the Radiance online pretty soon. Yeah, he's only another 900 gold away from it. Excuse me, 1100. And yes, Undying did go ahead and get Arcane Boots to keep his team's mana high so that they can continue to push. And it looks like Clockwork got caught way out of position. It looks like so did ES, and they're both going to go down here. And this would be a great time for Sentinel to take out this middle tower finally. They've tried 2 or 3 times. This would be the opportunity to get it. And yeah, Scourge has nothing to say about it. They're just going to let Sentinel have it. Actually, we see a TPN coming from somebody. This is Bristleback, so he's pretty tanky. He could probably handle 2 or 3 heroes till the rest of his team gets there, and he is indeed going to try and, try to deny it, but ultimately fails. And it looks like they're going for this Witch Doctor good attempt to shackle by the Windrunner, trying to just stall out the Bristleback enough so that her team can get out. Which, point on shackle shot, you don't always have to land a perfect shackle every time so much as you just have to make sure it gets used. I see a lot of Windrunners just save it and 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 save it, and then the team fight's over and they haven't used shackle shot yet. And you're like, dude, man, where's the shackle shot? And they're like, well, there was never an opportunity to use it. Dude, just use it. You might get lucky, or at least you stall them for a second. It gives your team that extra little edge to keep doing their thing. So if you're playing Windrunner, if you want to step up your game a little bit, don't be afraid of using shackle shot and missing it. Just use it. I mean, it's like playing Pudge. You just have to be willing to use your skills. You don't necessarily have to land them all the time. Or like in this area down here, I remember one time I had a Pudge teammate. Me and we were chasing down this really low HP hero, and he was going for the ramp, and my Pudge teammate threw his hook across the ramp, and the enemy had to choose either to take the hook or dodge it, and he dodged it and he still died, or he could die on the hook. It was really just a rock and a hard place kind of choice. So that's one of those things about skills like shackle shot, hook, and other things, is you don't always have to land them, you just have to use them. Let's see, Batrider saw Earthshaker, tried to blink up and maybe find him hanging around a little too long, but it doesn't quite work. It looks like they would like to push on this top tower if they can. Scourge is nowhere near here, and all of them have TP scrolls, of course, but actually Bristleback doesn't have a TP scroll. So actually, if Sentinel wants this tower, they're pretty much just going to get it, because they're only going to they're going to be faced off against no Syllabear and no Bristleback in this team fight. So yeah, I think Scourge is just going to let them have it. Let's check up on the item progressions. ES has gotten his Soul Ring, but nothing else. Clock has gone for Arcane Boots. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit, because oftentimes I see Clockworks going for Phase Boots and Power Treads, and actually Arcane Boots tends to be a better item for him. Actually, we got a big team fight going on. We've got an Enigma ult and an Earthshaker ult just drops the Sentinel team to low HP, but they're still managed to turn around. Witch Doctor just letting his ult run on everyone. Unfortunately, Scourge loses two heroes in that, with two good engagements from their two big AoEs that they really wanted, but unable to capitalize on it. We'll get back to Clock in a minute. And it looks like Sentinel is going to take their 2 kills and run with it. That's all they need. And Syllabear has finished his Radiance finally. Yes, back to this Clockwork build with the Arcane Boots. He really is one of those heroes that would like a whole lot of mana if he could get it. And he doesn't really benefit from Power Treads because he has a really high base attack time, and he doesn't really benefit from Phase Boots because he has a fair amount of damage already. And he doesn't really need to be running through a whole lot of stuff. He has his hook to get up into people's faces, and they just don't do as much for him. So Arcane Boots is actually a better choice for him as a hero and for his teammates. So, just a little point there that I wanted to make. Let's see. Bristleback is just opting to tank up at this point. He's probably going to go for a Pipe and a Vanguard. That's perfectly fine. He's got a fair amount of AoE presence at this point, but at some point he's going to start picking up damage items if he wants to continue to tank. The idea behind a tank hero is that you want people to focus on you. You want to be the one that they focus on, and if you don't give them a reason to attack you, they're not going to. Which is usually why Bristleback picks up Radiance, to just add to his AoE presence. And because he has a Syllabar on his team, that kind of limits his choices to not getting a Radiance and what do I get next? Because he could pick up a Shivas to increase his AoE presence a little bit, but that really wouldn't really do it for a tank. So I'm really just unsure of what he can do at this point to continue to be a threat. Now, Dying has picked up Vladimir's Offering for his team. Great buy. And let's see. Syllabear has nothing on himself. I know I've talked about this before. Syllabear at some point is going to need to transfer all of the items on his bear to himself, because here in the next, maybe 4 levels, he will exceed his bear in terms of sheer power. His bear will have more HP, but Syllabear will have more effective HP through his armor and his already ridiculous high HP. Now, it's not a bad idea to continue to bulk up your bear while it's still effective, but at some point you have to start putting items on yourself. And I believe this is NS. Come on. No, this is Gion Syllabaire. Should be one of those players that realizes this. We have an invisible clock